The United Nations collect and make available for free some of the most amazing data in the world. It's just extraordinary what they put out there on the web for anyone to use.
But none of the data is connected. So the aim of our project was to find the relationship between all of the different data sets.
The data they make available is amazing, but it is not easy to use. The UN data website is kind of basic. The filtering's basic, the download is basic, the data volumes are hard to get at. It's tricky to work with. Our project is to make this data easier to access, easier to use, and easier to analyze by using the power of TigerGraph.
The first part of our project was to gather as wide a range of data as possible and load it into TigerGraph.
The second part of the project was to design a schema that could capture all this data in the most graph-like way that would make it easier to analyze.
The third part of our project was to design a user-friendly UI which would integrate well with TigerGraph. As you can see, there's a pick list on the left-hand side for metrics to be selected, a slider on the top for years to be selected or a range of years, and the global map for country selection.
The second function we built was we can pick any two matrix from the dataset, and that selection automatically generates a scatter plot.
Graph databases don't just give you access to this amazing, world of graph analytics. They're also just really good databases.
Doing this in a relational database would have been very difficult. The current database consists millions of rows, and putting it in a SQL database would require multiple tables, and joining all those tables would kill any SQL query.
We started with a very complex but easy to understand schema, and as we've gone through the GSQL build process, we've really found that the schema gets simpler and simpler as we start to try and write queries. The efficiency of the queries tends to drive enhancements in the schema, and then the enhancements in the schema make the GSQL easier to write. We find more tweaks. It's been a fantastic sort of iterative process.
Simpler schema makes a database flexible, and it makes very easy to write efficient GSQL. What we have built is just the first stage prototype, but even with the simplest of visual analytics, you can see how it starts to unlock the insights hidden away in this amazing data repository.
The UN data is an amazing resource. We just hope to make it just that little bit more accessible and usable for anyone who wants to